want to do today is just show you a quick video of something that you can make at the house that's very quick with, you know, pretty common items that you can find at your local grocery store that you may already have at your house, in your refrigerator or in your cupboard. So what we're going to do today, we're going to make ramen noodles. I know what you're thinking, ramen noodles. How can you make ramen noodles gourmet? What I'm going to do, I actually posted this dish not too long ago on my Facebook, and a lot of people asking for the recipe, so here it is. I'm going to abbreviate it a little bit because it really takes about 20-25 minutes from start to finish to make everything, so I'm going to go through it fairly quickly, but just so you can see how it's done. Alright, so I have a piece of salmon here that I seasoned with salt and pepper and Chinese five spice powder. If you haven't used Chinese five spice powder before, you got to try it. It's lovely. See, my pan is smoking. The key to getting crispy skin on your fish is to make sure that your pan is smoking hot. Alright, so I have my ramen noodles already done back here, and I have a sauce that I made here that's reducing right now, so I'm gonna cut it up just a little bit so that it reduces, so that we're able to glaze the fish and toss the noodles with. In this pan right here, I have some soy sauce, a little bit of mirin, which is a sweet cooking rice seasoning. I have ginger, I have garlic, I have lime juice. I'm gonna sprinkle some green onions in there, and pretty much that's it. And I put a little bit of a little garlic sauce in there, chili garlic sauce. You can get this at any grocery store. And pretty much that's it. I'm gonna post a recipe, the actual recipe for this on with the video. But my pan is smoking, so I need to go ahead and drop my fish in there so I can get that skin good and crispy. Then when I drop it, the skin is gonna seize up, so I just want to press it just a little bit to make sure that I get that skin exactly how I want it. You don't have to hold it the whole time, but just as soon as you put it on, you know, that you make sure that you get that skin good and crisp. So that should be pretty good. Common mistake when people cook salmon and fish, things like that, you overcook it. This salmon should be served medium. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook it about 3.5 minutes on one side, and then you'll see it start to turn white around the edges. And they're going to cook it about 2 minutes on the other side. Then I'm going to set it aside and let it rest, because it's going to continue to cook while it's resting. And while it's resting, I'm going to toss my noodles with my sauce right here that's reducing, and then we're going to put it all together, and you'll see exactly how it's done. I want to make sure that we keep that oil coming underneath that fish. I know a lot of people saying, how can you turn ramen noodles into something gourmet? You know, growing up, I was always taught to improvise and things like that, so that's just what I'm doing, you know, improvising with the things that I have and try to come up with something that's good. So now we have our ramen noodles ready to go. We got about another 1.5 minutes on our salmon. As you can see, the sauce is starting to reduce a little bit, so it's going to get a little bit thicker, and we're going to be able to coat the fish with it and be able to toss our noodles with it. One thing I tell people is always taste as you go. So my sauce is reduced. I want to test it and make sure that it's not too salty, not too sweet, or whatever, so that I can adjust it. So I just always like to give a quick taste. Tastes pretty good. If it's too salty or too sweet, because you know soy sauce can be a little overpowering, I like to just dilute it a little bit with a little water and just let it continue to reduce down. Alright, our salmon is looking pretty good, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip it. Our skin should be good and crisp by now, so let's go ahead and turn it. As you can see, that skin is nice and crispy. Now remember, you don't want to overcook it. You can actually see around the edges, right in here, where it's still undercooked. So our noodles are almost ready to go. They're done here. Our sauce is reducing. We should be ready to go with our sauce. So what we're gonna do is take a little bit of this sauce here. I'm just gonna brush it on this salad. So brush all sides. You can see how it changed colors on the inside. So that salmon is almost done. Remember, we don't want to overcook it, so I'm going to let that cook for another 30-45 seconds, and I'm going to take it off and let it rest. You can actually see how thick the sauce has gotten now. Remember, we started out, it was fairly nice and thick. So we can go ahead and cut that off because it's ready now. Give one more last coat here. Gonna take this salmon off. Gonna let it rest. Now what we're gonna do is just go ahead and toss in our noodles. I have some green onion that I chopped up, a little jalapeno, some small pearl red onion. We're gonna take a little bit of our sauce. This is a little ginger that I tossed in with the noodles just to give it a little flavor. We are ready. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and assemble this dish. Going in manually.
It's not about me, it's not about what I need, it's about what we need. It's all about leadership and communication. And, you know, one person who comes in as the leader.
There you have it, simple enough. Put a little green onion on there. Some jalapenos. And a sprinkle of onion. There you have it.
That's one thing that I think gets overlooked a lot of times is that our players are very confident and know what's going on. I think everything will be all right there.
You stepped up. Do you think other star players have to be more in ownership of the unit, be more active in it?
No, I think to each his own. You know, I think it's up to all of us because we have a lot of great player representatives on certain teams.